Hello. I get a lot of questions from you guys on how I apply my templates. So I've been telling you guys I would make a video, so I'm going to do that today. First thing you need, your cup. I use vinyl. Vinyl is not necessary. I'll explain that as I get going. Your template, mine's already cut. I cut mine with a paper cutter, then some scissors and your weeder. You may or may not need this. I need this. But to get started, I already have my design cut out. It is the library. So I'm just going to trim it. I'm not going edge to edge. I'm just getting the major bulk off the side of it. Alright, and then I place mine on vinyl. Placing them on vinyl is not a necessary step. There are two benefits to using vinyl underneath your template. One benefit is you don't have to paint it and wait for it to dry. Your vinyl does that for you. The second benefit is the template itself, the adhesive is not repositionable. If you rip it off your tumbler, you're going to tear it to shreds and have to recut it. Put vinyl underneath it and need to reposition, it is possible. You can reposition it 2 or 3 times without having to recut. I would keep in mind, if you do need to reposition, when you're peeling your template off, you're going to be curving it in this direction to peel it off. So each individual piece will also be curved in that direction. Every piece is going to be like a little U. So you will want to try and, when you peel it off your tumbler, try to keep it straight as possible as you're peeling it off and not just curve it this way. And that will make your template stay as flat as possible after pulling it off, if you have to reposition, which hopefully you don't. But now that I have my vinyl cut, and this vinyl has a clear back, it's not your traditional vinyl. It is very thin and almost translucent. I'm not sure if you can see my hand through there. I wouldn't use this for regular vinyl for decals and such. That's perfect for this because it doesn't add much weight to your project at all. And I will have this vinyl linked below. Mine is getting low, so it's curving, as you can tell. I am just going to go ahead and apply this using the hinge method. Apply this directly to my vinyl. Now, when you apply these, it is easy to get bubbles. So, I get bubbles almost every time I do this, but I also don't really care very much. You may want to be careful and try to avoid them. You can pop them with your weeder if you do get them on there. It's not that big a deal. And I just kind of work my way through, smoothing it down, trying to avoid bubbles if possible. This template tape I will have linked below as well. As well as the weeder. All of that is available on my website, coldglitter.com. The vinyl is not on my website, but the tape and the weeder is. Okay, so now that we have this applied, and it looks like I did pretty good on the bubbles this time, so now I'm going to trim this to the size I would want it to be when applying it to the tumbler. So, and this is a seamless design, so I will be trimming edge to edge. If I get my head in frame here, I apologize. It's kind of difficult to see that side. All right, with the library template specifically, I do leave just a tiny little hairline extra space underneath this because it makes weeding the floorboards under the archway easier. You can pull them off in one piece, but you just have to leave a tiny little line. And I might get my head in there again, but that is okay. You won't be missing out on anything. All right. With mine, I like to leave the bottom of my cup exposed. That way when I go to epoxy it, I don't have to worry about it being unlevel on the bottom. So I do cut my template shorter to give me room here and here. So I am going to cut more of my template off than normal. I'm going to get my head in frame again. Okay, so this should be good, right size. So we are done with this. Discard your extra pieces. We don't need the cutter anymore. Now, what I'm going to do is flip my template over, and this clear backing on the back of the vinyl, I'm going to peel back just the clear portion and reveal some of the adhesive here. All right. I'm going to pull back about this much. And I'm going to cut it, but I'm not going to cut it all the way off. I'm going to cut it almost to the edge. I'm going to leave just a little bit attached here. And I'm going to stick this right back down where it was. I'll show you why I do it that way. This way it's not sticky. So I'm going to take this template and I'm going to wrap it around my tumbler. And we're going to position it exactly where we want it. Sometimes it can take a minute to get there, but there is no rush. Okay. So you get it where you want it, and make sure it lines up, and you hold it in place. So now the strip that we cut off a second ago, we're going to remove that strip. And now it's very easy to do. And since we're holding it in place, it's not going to move, and we're just going to apply this to our tumbler. This exposed area. And now we can let go because it's adhered in place. We don't have to worry about anything, it's not moving. So we'll just remove our backing a little bit and start smoothing it out. And again, we're going to be mindful of our bubbles. Try not to get too many bubbles in here. If we get them, it's okay, it's fixable. It's easier to get bubbles when applying your template to the vinyl than it is when applying your template to the cup. So you don't have to be as tedious here. And then, as you can see, you have your template applied perfectly. And it's in line. And we do have a little bit of bubbling here. This is where you take your pen. This pen is available on the website. It's just a needlepoint tip. So when you see the bubbles, you can just push it all the way down to the tumbler and rub it out. And your bubbles are gone. So it's not a big deal. And that is it. that is how you apply your templates. If you have a little gap here, that's okay. Go ahead and glitter them. A lot of times glitter will stick in these tiny little areas and you won't notice it. If you do when you're done, take a line of Mod Podge and glitter over the Mod Podge when you're finished. It'll hide it too. But that is it.